Inter-Aston Villa, partita di ritorno insomma, della Coppa UEFA 90-91, è indimenticabile perché prima di tutto insomma, recuperare un 2-0 subito all'andata contro una squadra inglese secondo me è difficile per chiunque. Proprio poi in quel periodo insomma, dove le squadre inglesi erano molto forti ed era difficile insomma, pensare che l'Inter potesse recuperare questo 2-0, per quello diventa indimenticabile questo tipo di partita, perché poi dall'altra parte c'erano giocatori importanti come David Clerc, come Gordon Cowans, come McGrath, davanti avevano giocatori importanti come Cascarino, come Deley, quindi era una squadra strutturata sicuramente molto bene per poter difendere e anche contrattaccare, perché Deley era un giocatore velocissimo davanti. No, insomma, diventa indimenticabile appunto per questo, perché insomma, riuscire a ribaltare un risultato di 2-0 e vincere in casa 3-0 contro una squadra inglese, per me questo resta indimenticabile.
L'atmosfera era delle grandi sfide, la vigilia è stata una vigilia tormentata, c'era molto nervosismo da parte nostra nello spogliatoio, ci sono stati anche dei piccoli battibecchi tra di noi, dunque devo dire che Trapattoni ha avuto un ruolo importante da moderatore. E quando siamo giunti a San Siro abbiamo trovato uno stadio pieno, uno stadio che indubbiamente era diciamo, accogliente e soprattutto benaugurante a questa sfida che insomma era una sfida veramente delicata. Sapevamo che se avessimo preso un gol il tutto sarebbe stato vanificato in pochi attimi. Dunque dovevamo stare molto attenti, essere aggressivi, essere magari alti con la squadra, essere magari un po' spregiudicati, però nello stesso tempo attenti perché un gol veramente ci avrebbe tagliato le gambe.
Giovanni Trapattoni è stato uno degli allenatori più importanti insomma, per il nostro panorama calcistico, ma anche nella storia dell'Inter, perché ha fatto 5 anni secondo me molto bene all'Inter, tenendo la squadra insomma, sempre ad alti livelli. Lui era un grande motivatore, insomma, preparava bene le partite, ma puntava molto sulla motivazione, sotto l'aspetto psicologico, è uno che caricava molto bene la squadra, soprattutto anche in queste sfide di Coppa. Insomma, nella partita di ritorno, grande carica, grande concentrazione. Io mi ricordo anche che c'era stato uno screzio nell'allenamento proprio che precedeva la partita, quello della mattina, ma lui era sempre molto bravo a tenere tutti sulla corda e cercare di mandare in campo una squadra sempre molto caricata, ma con la serenità giusta e con la tranquillità insomma, e con la convinzione di poter ribaltare un risultato.
Mi ricordo che in quella gara in maniera specifica ha usato pochissime parole, mentre a lui piaceva molto magari anche alla vigilia, dunque la sera prima, passare tra le camere, magari spiegare un attimino quelli che erano un po' gli accorgimenti tattici e via dicendo a livello individuale. Quella sera non passò, la chiacchierata, il colloquio pre-gara fu molto ridotto perché secondo me dalla sua grande esperienza ha capito che non c'erano tante parole da dire, non c'erano tante motivazioni da tirare fuori, ma le motivazioni ce le avevamo già in corpo e non vedevamo l'ora che iniziasse questa partita.
Io ero il capitano di quella squadra, insomma, quindi era un ruolo secondo me importante. Io non sono mai stato uno che parlava tantissimo, sono uno abbastanza taciturno, uno un po' introverso, ma penso che poi tu riesci a trasmettere qualcosa al gruppo e ai tuoi compagni attraverso anche all'esempio, a come ti comporti, a come ti alleni, a come interpreti la tua carriera da professionista. Insomma. E questo è sempre stato il mio messaggio che ho dato alla squadra. Il gruppo secondo me era un buon gruppo formato da diversi giocatori che facevano parte della nazionale italiana. Avevamo i 3 tedeschi, da Breme, da Matthäus e Klinsmann, che avevano portato secondo me all'interno sempre di questo gruppo una mentalità vincente.
Io credo che un po' tutta la squadra era sicuramente una squadra ben attrezzata per ben figurare, ma se devo scegliere un reparto io sceglierei quello di centrocampo, dove secondo me Matthäus, Berti, Bianchi, in quell'anno Pizzi, e con l'apporto di un esterno che secondo me è un centrocampista aggiunto, che è Andy Breme, faceva sì che questo centrocampo potesse avere sempre il sopravvento sulle squadre avversarie.
Abbiamo giocato quella partita anche un po' contro la stampa, che era un periodo che la squadra magari non andava tanto bene e c'erano state tante critiche, questo io me lo ricordo. Quindi c'era un ambiente surriscaldato, pieno, strapieno San Siro, c'era la sensazione magari di poter fare un'impresa, perché insomma ribaltare un risultato di 2-0 secondo me si tratta di impresa, e quindi c'erano tutti gli ingredienti per cercare di fare una grande partita, ma il pubblico era veramente carico quella sera.
Io credo che in tutti noi c'era la voglia di ribaltare una prestazione negativa dell'andata, la voglia di misurarsi contro questa squadra che ci aveva un po', tra virgolette, umiliato all'andata, la voglia di ribaltare un risultato quasi impensabile, e soprattutto si percepiva la voglia del pubblico, la positività che c'era intorno, questa cornice di pubblico meravigliosa che era venuto allo stadio in massa per assistere ad un evento che indubbiamente poteva entrare nella storia.
L'Aston Villa si temeva sicuramente la grande organizzazione, la forza fisica, insomma gli inglesi la mettono sempre sotto questo punto di vista, insomma le loro caratteristiche principali, la velocità dei giocatori d'attacco e il colpo di testa di Cascarino. Per quanto riguarda David Platt, è un giocatore che a me è sempre piaciuto, un giocatore intelligente che sapeva dare i tempi alla squadra, aveva tempi di inserimento, riusciva a fare i gol. Quindi era un giocatore secondo me fondamentale per quella Aston Villa.
Il giocatore che ci ha messo più in difficoltà all'andata è stato sicuramente Daly, che è questo giocatore velocissimo, un attaccante che non riuscivi a capire le intenzioni, perché lo faceva con una velocità estrema e supportato chiaramente da una squadra di grande personalità, e David Platt, che poi ha avuto modo di avere in squadra con me alla Sampdoria e conoscerlo personalmente, era sicuramente un giocatore di grande personalità, di grande carisma, era un trascinatore.
Ferri sulle due punte avversarie che sono Deley e Cascarino, intanto il pallone è verso l'area di rigore, Klinsmann, gol di Jürgen Klinsmann.
Mi ricordo l'azione del primo gol dove Berti rubò palla a centrocampo, fece un lancio in verticale verso Klinsmann che era scattato aggredendo gli spazi e cercando di prendere il tempo all'avversario, e le difficoltà di Klinsmann nel cercare di fermare questo pallone che rimbalzava su un campo al limite della praticabilità, e il difensore dietro che praticamente gli frana addosso, pensavamo quasi a un rigore, poi lui nella caduta riesce poi col sinistro, con un gesto coordinato col sinistro, ad arpionare questo pallone, a superare il portiere inglese, a portare in vantaggio l'Inter, che in quel momento insomma era una cosa importante, perché ce l'avevamo detto anche alla vigilia della gara che era importante segnare all'inizio, nei primi 15 minuti, e così è stato. Al 7° minuto Klinsmann è riuscito a portarci in vantaggio e darci questa speranza di poter nel contesto della partita ribaltare un risultato, come abbiamo più volte detto, quasi impensabile. Gli inglesi dopo il gol non accusavano molto il fatto di essere andati in svantaggio, non cambiarono l'atteggiamento tattico, rimasero comunque con lo stesso atteggiamento, una squadra a cui piaceva giocare, a cui piaceva tenere il possesso palla, a cui piaceva magari essere un po' più spregiudicata, e così è stato ancora nel proseguo della gara.
Ma gli inglesi dopo quel gol hanno cercato sempre di fare la partita, però lo sappiamo insomma che le squadre inglesi, soprattutto quando vanno a giocare fuori casa, qualche difficoltà la incontrano sicuramente. Cambiano anche il loro atteggiamento, non sono spavaldi, non hanno quell'entusiasmo che riescono a trovare dentro i loro stadi, e qui secondo me l'hanno pagato, no? Hanno sentito veramente l'entusiasmo del nostro pubblico, la carica che c'era, secondo me hanno fatto poco per cercare di metterci in difficoltà.
Ora è Matteus che mette in mezzo, il pallone sfiorato, poi c'è il tiro che termina il gol da parte di Berti. Berti segna per l'Inter al 16° del secondo tempo, situazione ristabilita.
Nicola Berti è fondamentale per questa squadra. Io penso che all'interno di ogni squadra ci debba essere un giocatore così. Io li chiamo i leader emotivi, quei giocatori che trascinano il pubblico, che trascinano i compagni con le loro giocate. Magari sono anche indisciplinati tatticamente, no? Perché uno che portava palla, che magari andava in attacco quando non aveva i giusti tempi di inserimento, però accendeva sempre la squadra, insomma, trovava sempre la giocata. Qui, se non sbaglio, su un calcio di punizione di Lothar Matthäus vicino al calcio d'angolo c'è stata la spizzata sul primo palo, lui sul secondo di sinistro va a impattare questa palla e la chiude sull'angolo opposto. Insomma, questo è il gol del 2-0 che riporta tutto in parità.
Beh, Nicola Berti insieme a Lothar Matthäus e insieme a Bianchi erano i 3 centrocampisti che avevano poi dalla loro la capacità di offendere come dei veri attaccanti.
Ancora Pizzi, il suo cross, poi Bianchi, gol di Bianchi, gol di Bianchi per l'Inter.
Il terzo gol partiamo quasi in contropiede, sulla fascia sinistra con Lothar Matthäus che riesce a dare questa palla in profondità per Pizzi, che va sul fondo. Dentro, fuori questa palla non si è mai capito, insomma, perché lui riesce a metterla sul secondo palo e la palla scavalca l'ultimo difensore e arriva Bianchi che calcia al volo e la mette in mezzo alle gambe al portiere. Sandro Bianchi tatticamente era il giocatore perfetto, soprattutto per le squadre di Trapattoni. Copriva tutta la fascia destra, era un ragazzo intelligente, non aveva un gran fisico ma lottava per tutta la partita, correva tanto, ma la sua forza era l'intelligenza tattica. Quell'Inter secondo me era particolare perché aveva una struttura dove 3-4 ragazzi arrivavano dal settore giovanile, no? Izenga, Bergomi, Ferri, Beppe Baresi, che faceva parte del gruppo, ed erano arrivati dei ragazzi che avevano poi integrato questa ossatura, soprattutto anche con i giocatori stranieri. E questo gruppo qua basava la sua forza sia sulla fase difensiva, giustamente insomma era un po' anche l'ossatura della nazionale, ma soprattutto insomma incarnava lo spirito dei tedeschi e che Trapattoni riusciva poi a mettere in campo una squadra sempre con grande equilibrio e con forza fisica. Questa secondo me è stata la forza di quell'Inter.
Era un Inter che sapeva soffrire, sapeva affrontare le gare e magari interpretare le sofferenze per poi dopo reagire. Era una squadra che si identificava molto nelle caratteristiche dei propri giocatori, e ne cito uno a caso che era Lothar Matthäus che da solo riusciva a dare delle accelerazioni e delle sterzate alla gara che in quel momento magari erano impensabili. Dunque io credo che lui abbia portato veramente una mentalità, oltre che vincente, una mentalità giusta per far crescere tutta la squadra e grazie a lui siamo cresciuti tantissimo. Eravamo sicuramente un vero gruppo, ma perché comunque il lavoro fatto dal Trap era in quella direzione. Lui voleva creare un gruppo solido, chiaramente fatto anche di grande individualità, come del resto c'erano in squadra, però il gruppo doveva avere sicuramente la priorità. Io credo, quando si parla di gruppo, dicono sì, questo è un gruppo vincente, sono tutti amici. Ecco, io voglio spiegare, l'amicizia in un gruppo non è così facile da ottenere. Sì, ci sono dei giocatori con cui magari riesci a identificarti meglio anche al di fuori del calcio, però quello era un gruppo che si identificava soprattutto in campo.
È stata la vittoria del pubblico, il pubblico ha trascinato veramente in quella gara noi giocatori, assolutamente.
Walter Zenga, una vittoria alla quale hai cominciato a sperare quando?
Eccezionale, abbiamo fatto una grande partita e abbiamo meritato di vincere. Guarda, sono troppo contento, guarda che gente.
È una delle vittorie più belle, penso, della tua carriera.
Sì, è una delle storie più belle alla pagina dell'Inter.
In che momento hai cominciato a pensare che in effetti era fatto?
Dal primo minuto, perché ci abbiamo creduto sempre tutti.
È stata una vittoria anche di Trapattoni?
È una vittoria di Trapattoni, della squadra, del gruppo, della società e di questo splendido pubblico.
Terrific atmosphere here at San Siro. Have Aston Villa got the bottle? We're going to find out right now. Let's join our commentators, Ian St John, who played here for Liverpool 25 years ago, and Brian Moore, the last time he was here, got soaked to the skin. Brian.
Right, just a few months ago in the World Cup, Elton. Thank you. Let's take a check quickly on the two teams. Inter Milan make one change from the side beaten 2-0 at Villa. Sandro Bianchi, who was suspended for that game, returns to the right flank. Prominent still, of course, the 5 Italian World Cup men, Zenga, Bergomi, Berti, Ferri and Serena, and the 3 German World Cup winners, Bremer, Matthäus and Klinsmann. A formidable challenge then for Aston Villa. But Villa also make one change from the side that gave English football such a shot in the arm a fortnight ago. Paul McGrath, his troublesome knee has relented, and he'll play in place of young Andy Comyn, who's one of the substitutes. Our referee tonight, is the Soviet Union's representative at the World Cup, Alexei Spirin. Well, Ian, it's a wonderful atmosphere here, but there's no disguising the fact that although they are 2 goals up, it's a really formidable task for Aston Villa.
Well, it certainly is, Brian, but the atmosphere here is very intimidating, as you well know, and it'll be a real test for the Villa players if they've got to keep their cool, especially early on in the game.
Well, away we go with Inter Milan now in their famous blue and black stripes. Villa in a change strip of white with light blue shorts. Villa attacking the goal to our right. Though you fancy there might be so much defending for them to do in front of Nigel Spink. Their first target must be to survive the opening onslaughts of maybe 20 minutes or so and not concede a goal in that time. And then to work harder maybe than they've ever worked before with supreme concentration and discipline to stick it out against Inter and hold on to this 2-goal lead. You can see right away how difficult it is for the players to stand on this pitch. As Elton was saying, it's in a terrible state. But away goes Berti for Inter Milan. Cowans is chasing him, and well, it was Derek Mountfield who stood up big and strong there on the edge of the penalty area. Mateus now, number 10. Got to be watched with his shots from midfield. Well, there's the warning. Well, we saw so little of the true Mateus at Villa Park a fortnight ago. And in the opening minute or so, he's told us, well, that wasn't the true me. This is much more like me. Cascarino's jump, Daly up there. Villa holding such great store by the ability of Daly to get forward at great pace, for Platt to support him and for Cowans to find him. Here's Daly. Taken out by Berti. And the free kick's been given. And this is sometimes where you feel that Villa could well prosper, because there is no better kicker of a dead ball than the man in the picture now. Gordon Cowans, back in the England reckoning once more at the age of 32. At corners and at free kicks like this, and there's a real clutch of Villa players, as you can see at the far side there. And Zenga coming out, dominating that 6-yard area and grabbing it well.
I do think, Brian, that the pitch will have a significant part to play in this game, because, as you well know, the run of the ball, if you get a good run of the ball, great. If you don't, then you could be in trouble. And with this pitch in the state it's in, you know, a defender could go to the ball, it could bobble over his foot inside the box, and you're right in trouble.
Certainly in training last night, they were finding it difficult to keep their feet. And it's all come about because of the added third tier here at this giant San Siro stadium. It's altered the growing conditions, and apparently the roots of the grass just can't get a hold. Well, this is Pizzi. They hold great store by him as well. Bremer crossing it in. Pizzi again. And Villa get it away. It was Paul Birch that time. Oh, was having a bit of rough and tumble there with Bergamy. It's a throw then to Inter Milan. Andy Bremer with it to his fellow German, Lothar Matthäus. Bremer, right-footed, swinging it towards yet another German, Klinsmann, beaten in the air, though, by Kent Nielsen. And now Daly. They're desperately worried about this man's pace, and he's left Ferry there, but is there anybody waiting in the middle? And Daly, just in the end, can't keep the ball from going over the byline.
That would appear to be the game plan for Villa, Brian. They're only keeping Daly up. Cascarino is even dropping back and using the pace of Daly to get past him, and you can see that he's certainly got that, and if they can get inside the box and run at him like that, who knows, you know, penalty kicks could be on.
Well, of course, if Aston Villa can score with the away goal, it means that Inter tonight would have to score 4. We talk about the formidable task facing Aston Villa. Don't for a moment let's undersell the Villa lads, because it's a great task that Inter are facing too. Bremer This is Serena. And a shove there by McGrath gives Inter a free kick. And you can be sure of one thing, that the Inter side will be looking for all the free kicks that they can find in and around the box, penalties too, and Villa must be so very cautious. But here's Bremer then with the free kick, floated deep there towards Klinsmann on the far side, but Nielsen, helped by Cascarino, gets it behind for a corner to Inter Milan, and early pressure on Aston Villa. Bianchi. Mateus looking to get to the byline, succeeds in doing it. Beautiful play there, and good defending again by Nielsen for Aston Villa. Only Daly is up. Pizzi. I think one of the big questions was, would Inter Milan play as poorly as they did in the first leg? It was so unlike them to play as they did. And I think we're seeing straight away that it's quite a different Inter Milan here tonight.
I think you've got to give Aston Villa credit for the way that they played at Villa Park. And if they've set their stall out tonight, and they've got to keep to the game plan, I think, and that's very, very important. They don't panic, they're very positive in what they do. And if they stick by that, you know, they can get something out of it.
Flick back to Walter Zenga. Hit at his #1 goalkeeper since just after the '86 World Cup. Battistini, the sweeper. Klinsmann, such pace, Klinsmann. It's a goal! Klinsmann for Inter Milan. Precisely the thing that Villa didn't want to happen. They allowed Klinsmann to go free, and there's great relief in the Inter Milan camp, and a growing problem for Aston Villa now.
Well, I thought it was a mistake defensively there, but when Klinsmann got through, I think they were expecting the goalkeeper, Spink, to come out and make the challenge. He didn't. Derek Mountfield got a very late challenge in, and there was Klinsmann just swinging a boot at it, and very fortunately knocked it in. But you can see here, Brian, as he got clear, I think Derek Mountfield thought the goalkeeper should have come for that, and I have to say yes.
So bad news for Villa, and here come Inter again. Mateus. Bremer keeps it in. Serena's up there being watched by Paul McGrath. Bremer again. Touched that time by Battistini, and a goal kick. Well, that's a real big blow for the Aston Villa management. They were saying that they wanted the back four to push up and defend as much as they can outside the penalty area for the fear of conceding a penalty. They pushed well forward, but they just couldn't cope with Klinsmann. And Klinsmann, you may remember, had a glaring miss in the first leg at Villa Park. He told his teammates, I owe you something, I'll see that I repay it in the second leg, and he's done just that. Now it really is a strong, strong test of nerve for them. On the sort of night when you fancy we should be sitting on the edges of our seats. Stuart Gray with the throw for Aston Villa, up towards Cascarino. Battistini. Serena. This is Berti, number 4. Mateus. Paul Birch did such a good job on him in the first leg. Needs to repeat that here now tonight in the San Siro. That's really bubbling now. Up to Pizzi. Paul McGrath there quickly for Aston Villa. Taken up beautifully by Mateus.
If Paul Birch is going to do that marking job there, Brian, I think he's got to get a lot closer to Mateus.
Well, I've got Gary Lineker here alongside me. Let's just have a look at the scoreline, which shows Aston Villa a goal down and Cascarino's shot going well wide. It's a real test for them now, Gary.
Well, I think they've just got to keep their heads now. I think that what they've got to do is not worry about that goal too much and just keep playing how they were going to play before the game. And if they do that, then they should be okay. They've got to ride the storm for the next 10, 15 minutes. That's important to them.
Always bearing in mind, too, that Villa didn't concede a goal at Villa Park. So no matter how over the battle goes here, if they can just nick one, even if Milan get a second goal or indeed a third, Villa would go through. That's, of course, on the away goals rule. Away goals counting double in the event of the match finished level on aggregate at the end of 90 minutes. Here's Cascarino. Holding off Bremer. Gets it back to Chris Price. There's the cross in there again. Run it down by Stuart Gray, who come in late.
It was a good run by Stuart Gray. Didn't quite get his head turned towards goal enough to cause the goalkeeper any problem. But the Villa have been positive, I have to say that, but that was a real body blow. Terrible, terrible body blow for them.
Nielsen, flat. There's Klinsmann. And again, Klinsmann. Got away from Birch. Mateus. Now Pizzi. Serena's waiting in the middle for him. It's turned Cowans one way. It's gone over the byline. It's a goal kick. And the pitch already cutting up quite badly. Notice too that David Platt's got a plaster on his forehead. So we'll try and find out for you at half-time just what that's all about. That goes Cascarino. Bremer. Bergamy, the captain. Took it well. Took the ball from Mateus beautifully. It's Bergamy. Serena. And in the end, Nielsen gets it back to Nigel Spink. Yes, Bergamy kept his foot in there as Nigel Spink tried to clear. It'll be a free kick to Aston Villa. Interesting referee here. He refereed in the World Cup. Did one of the games here, West Germany against the United Arab Emirates on the night of that horrible storm that drenched us all. But he seemed to fall out of favour with FIFA and was taken off a game that he was due to do, Brazil versus Argentina, and went back to the Soviet Union. Here's Platt now for Aston Villa, stopped by Serena. David Platt with the plaster on his forehead, making a little break there. Bertie, challenged by Platt. Price. He took a little knock in training last night, Chris Price. They claim a handball there by Cascarino. It was given. Battistini now for Inter Milan. Lying third in the Italian First Division. Bianchi to Klinsmann. And Mateus.
That's interesting, Brian, that the Villa have got Paul McGrath marking Serena there, and Chris Price playing in front of him almost a wide midfield player. They obviously feel that Serena's a player that, you know, they've got to mark very closely. Paul McGrath's excellent at that.
Well, it's a free kick to Inter. Berti's across there, Serena, who's an excellent header of the ball. A little flick on by Bianchi. Needs the fist of Spink to get that one away for Villa. Up to Cascarino, who's got Stuart Gray available, and here's Tony Daly. Terrific place again. Ferry just can't stand with him, and now can Birch turn it back? There's a chance here, possibly Price, and Price was almost there. Platt. So Daly causing quivers right through that Inter defence. Bianchi, Serena, Platt, back heel, well played, into Price, this is better for Villa, Cascarino, there's a chance here, oh, just wide.
Well, what was Zenga thinking about there, Brian? He came right out to the edge of the box, and, you know, had Cascarino got the direction right, it was a certain goal. Look at that. No need for the goalkeeper to come there. Terribly unlucky.
Yes, a goal then would have solved all of Villa's problems. Oh, and Cascarino was high there on Bremer. Bergami again getting heavily involved. Bremer down. It was a very high challenge there by Cascarino. Ian?
Well, it was a high challenge, but I do think they make a meal of it. And Bergami, you know, he had a right go at Cascarino off the ball. Anyway, see, Cascarino stuck his foot out as the ball was bouncing. He certainly caught him, but I do think they make a meal of it.
Villa looking for their big defensive record of late to sustain them through these difficult times. Conceded only one goal in their last 7 games. That was against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge last Saturday. And indeed with just 1 defeat in their last 8, also at Chelsea. Bremer's okay. So Villa defensively not looking bad at all. As opposed to Inter Milan, there's always a chance you feel with them at the moment. They've conceded 9 in their last 3, which is almost unheard of for one of the major sides in the Italian league. 3 against Pisa, 2 against Aston Villa, of course, at Villa Park, and then 4 in a defeat against Juventus. They didn't play last weekend because Italy were playing in a European Championship match against the USSR, which was goalless in Rome. 1-0 to Inter Milan here, Villa leading 2-1 on aggregate. 18 minutes of the game gone. Serena, Berti, Battistini, the pitch beat him there. Cascarino, Gray, there's Bianchi, Berti. Pizzi, brought down by Platt, and then Gray brought down Bianchi. I think the Russian referee has given a free kick. Yes, he has, for the first challenge. It's back with Mateus, Bergami, into Berti, a little ball played there towards Mateus. Derek Mountfield doing a good job there for Villa in defence. Couldn't quite get it up as far as Daly, though. And here's Bianchi again now for Inter Milan. Pizzi's shot is too high. Coming up to the 20-minute mark, and Villa conceding just the 1 goal, leading 2-1 on aggregate. Cascarino, good header. Cowans persuading Daly to get forward there. Ferry is following Daly everywhere. Number 5, Italian World Cup player, conceding the free kick. Villa bringing the big men forward from the back. Mountfield's in there, Kent Nielsen's in there, Paul McGrath's in there as well to add to Cascarino. That little clutch of white around about that penalty spot now as Cowans drives this one in. And it was well spotted there by Bremer and well cleared. Villa's throw. Cascarino taking a bit of shoving from Bergamy there. Bianchi gets it clear. Cowans with a header to Daly, back again for Daly, but that's too far for Gray, and that's a goal kick to Inter Milan. 20 minutes and 36 seconds have gone. Milan lead by a goal to nil. Birch versus Matteus. Comes to Pizzi. And now to Bianchi. Gray. It's a Villa throw. Cascarino. Battistini. Berti. Blue and blacks are getting forward again now. Bremer's made a great run down the left flank for Berti. Here's Andy Bremer. Crossed in towards Serena, and Paul McGrath doing good work again there. Price putting it behind for another Inter Milan corner as Cascarino gets back to help out. Just Tony Daly left up front, and Inter playing the respect to him by putting both Bergamy and Battistini back to watch him. Bremer then lining up the corner. Curled in there deep, and it came off Serena's head. You've certainly got to watch Serena in that box. He's regarded as one of the best headers of a ball in the Italian First Division. Pizzi. Bremer. This is Pizzi. Bremer. A lot of movement in the box there, but it was Nielsen who got it away, just touched back again by Berti. Price getting there. A header by McGrath. Up to Cascarino, touchdown to Cowans. Villa will be really looking for Gordon Cowans to bring a bit of authority and creativity to that midfield. A foul there on Berti. It's good to see the Russian referee believes it's a man's game. You've got to take a bit of rough and tumble occasionally, and there was no serious foul there. Gave the free kick, and that was enough. Bianchi laying it in. Serena looking for it with the head. Birch getting it away for Aston Villa. Berti looking to send it back in there again. Pizzi. Bianchi. Came off the referee there. Cascarino hooking it clear to Daly. The Italian crowd certainly trying to intimidate Tony Daly. He's the most inoffensive of men. He's done nothing really to offend them other than play very well against their favourites. Saint?
Have you noticed, Brian, that the ball boys are very, very quick to get the ball back in play? And right from the beginning of the game, they're making sure that Aston Villa don't waste any time with the ball being left lying for a few seconds. In fact, they're running on the field and playing it.
with all the excitement from the San Siro, but that's not all, of course. From the racecourse ground in Wrexham, we've also got highlights of Wrexham against Manchester United in the Cup Winners' Cup. That's later on tonight. Berti for Inter Milan. Oh, just got his challenge in there before Serena, but here's Serena. Now the break is on for Inter. Good work by Spink. That would have crept just inside that near post. Terrific run again by Aldo Serena, though. He left Paul McGrath there. Under pressure got his shot in, but Spink had gathered it well. Bianchi. Here's Bergami. Cowens gets it back. Serena, Bremer. Chris Price. Far cry from those early days at Hereford United for Chris. And Blackburn Rovers. He's done a real big apprenticeship, and if anybody deserves to have a slice of the big time, it's him. He's enjoying himself here tonight, but it's a big task for Villa. This goal down. Klinsmann. And Nielsen struggling to keep with him. And Nielsen bringing him down, a free kick. And Klinsmann's a pass master in looking for free kicks, but that looked a genuine award to me. And Mateus going across to take the kick. Klinsmann, Serena, Berti's up from the back. Bremer's just lurking on the edge of the box. So's Bergami. Bianchi's in the box. So Mateus with the free kick. Villa get it away. Bremer. Bergami. Serena. Little touch there for Pizzi. Might come for Bianchi. And good work again by Nigel Spink. Just let it bounce off his chest for a moment, but bravely went after it the second time as the Italian boots came in. Bianchi's powerful shot. And down he went again. Cascarino's header. Battistini's clearance. Klinsmann. Picking out Mateus. In comes Gray. Good interception there. Will Birch get to that? Yes, he will. Daly's up ahead, just onside. Stuart Gray. Birch tried the little dummy, finds Cowens now. Can Cowens open up the way? Platt. Daly, Mountfield.
This is much better from Villa. They've got to try and keep a hold of the ball. They've been giving it away too easily.
Into Cascarino from Birch, played shortly. Paul McGrath getting it high over the crossbar.
But at least they had the ball and they kept it, which is very, very important. You know, the last 10 minutes, we've been under a bit of pressure. Inter are creating chances. So the Villa lads have got to get that ball and keep it. Knock it around. Sid Cowens has got to come more into the game. It's very important that he starts imposing himself on it.
Price. Daly given offside. That was real touch and go, that one. Score here tonight in the San Siro. Inter Milan 1, Aston Villa 0. But Villa, of course, leading 2-1 after their 2-0 victory in the first leg at Villa Park. But a real knife-edge game here now. Battistini going forward for Inter Milan in the blue and black shirts. Klinsmann to Pizzi. Bianchi's cross, a very deep one towards Serena. Gets up well. Klinsmann tries to finish it off, and in the end, Weiss puts it behind for the corner.
Well, Serena's certainly the danger man, Brian. He's causing everybody trouble in the air in that box, and all free kicks and corner kicks now are danger to Aston Villa.
Well, here's a corner kick coming up now, taken by Bremer. Berti, it looked like a handball there. The referee spotted it. Free kick to Villa. It's a wonderful stadium, a full house, or not far short of it, 81,000. And a handball by Berti there, providing Villa with the free kick.
Well, the referee has been very strong up to now. I just hope it continues that way. All his decisions have been very fair, and he's not been swayed at all by the crowd.
Nielsen. Daly won that in the air. Bergami collects, though, for Inter. Pizzi. Birch backing off. Pizzi looking for Mateus, who'd made a surging run through the midfield. Cowans.
That was a marvellous save. But the problems are there for Aston Villa to see. They're carving him up through the middle. Lovely save by Nigel.
But again, Klinsmann got free. McGrath just keeping it in play. Came off Bremer. Your thoughts, Gary Lineker, now? Some good work by Spink there. Villa, in fact, looked as though they might have been settling a little better, too.
Yeah, I think they were. I think what surprised me is that Nielsen's actually taking Klinsmann, because I think that Klinsmann's great asset is his pace, which is not really Nielsen's. I'm more surprised that they've not put McGrath on Klinsmann, and Nielsen, who's tremendous in the air against the powerful heading of Serena.
Certainly there's no doubt that Klinsmann has been outpacing Nielsen. And here's McGrath. Bremer. Klinsmann. Birch getting back there, but Gray gets it away. The pitch really cutting up now. Daly bringing down Bianchi. Crowd going wild. Inter making one or two protests. The Soviet referee just shrugging it off, giving the free kick. He knows what he's about.
But Inter players are trying to put pressure on the referee, Brian, and you know, they want something done, like red cards being issued about. But as I say, he's been very strong, the ref. He's been excellent.
Mateus. Bianchi. Birch getting back at him. Pizzi. Platt doing a lot of work there for Villa, and Cowans as well. We haven't seen a lot from Cowans and Platt that's looked spectacular, but my goodness, they've done some work through that midfield, chasing and harrying. And Spink has made a couple of excellent saves at the back. Cascarino winning it in the air. Mountfield. Daly. That came off Bremer, so it's Villa's ball. Cascarino. Price. Now in towards David Platt. He's twice beaten Zenger with goals, one in the World Cup in the match for 3rd and 4th place, and of course in the first leg of this game. What a night to get a hat-trick against Zenger this would be for David. Or to complete the hat-trick at any rate. Nielsen up well. Battistini, Bergami. Klinsmann. Platt getting back. Mountfield getting in. Price playing it forward towards Staley. And a foul on Daly, a free kick given. The subs just going through some warming up exercises there. Comes to Cascarino, now to David Platt. It wouldn't quite fall for Tony Daly. Birch winning it well in the air above Mateus, then gets again, but is forced into a mistake by Pizzi, and here's Bianchi. Bremer. Bianchi's gone down this touchline. Cascarino gets it away towards Gray on the far side, but Pizzi's there again for Inter Milan. They were so disappointed, Inter Milan, with their performance in the first leg, and there's no doubt about it that this is much more like the genuine article here tonight.
Yeah, I think they're a fine team, Inter Milan. Got some lovely players, and they are playing to form tonight, that's for sure. And you know, it's a real test for Aston Villa.
Harking back to your days when you played, what, a European Cup semi, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Inter Milan, you won 3-1 at Anfield, came here and got beaten 3-0.
Yes, but the big difference tonight is that the referee is allowing the game to be played fairly, which it definitely wasn't that night. I mean, we couldn't even win a throw-in.
Well, here's Cascarino. In towards Daly. Daly was beaten in the air. In fact, he must have been leaning in on Ricardo Ferri. Zenger. Conceded only 15 goals in his last 44 internationals, Walter Zenger. Bremer being forced back by Paul McGrath. Finds Ferry. McGrath needs to get back. Well, it's a bad ball by Ferry. Up goes big Cascarino. Cowans to Platt. That hits it straight at Bremer, though. Here's Battistini. Klinsmann. What a good ball there to Bianchi. And here's Cross, met by McGrath. Two white shirts of Villa, eager to get it away. And as far as Mateus. 6 minutes of the first half remaining. And after that dreadful start by Villa, losing a goal in the opening 6 minutes to Klinsmann. Looking a little bit better at the moment. You see how they are, Saint, pushing that back four forward, trying to defend as much as they can outside the penalty area, Villa.
I'm looking at Klinsmann tonight, Brian. He's a completely different player to the one that played up at Villa Park. He's looking an excellent player here, and yet there, I mean, he just looked, you know, as we would say, you know, a big yard dog. But tonight he's moving the ball around, he's coming off, he's picked up, he's threatening danger every time he's got it.
It's a header by Ferry. Bertie getting the better of Platt. Bremer. Bergamy. So important for Villa to hold out the last 4 minutes of this first half. Play to Bianchi. Into Klinsmann. Nielsen got the better of him there. Got it up nicely to Cascarino. Daly's up ahead of him, and David Platt's making a break through the middle. Now Tony Daly. Play for Chris Price. Cross towards Cascarino on the far side. Cascarino's header just wide. Bergamy seems to be out of sorts with everybody. The Milan captain had a little tussle there with Cascarino, and he got up so well, Big Tony, for this one. Just wide of Zenga's goal.
Well, they've certainly had a couple of chances in there tonight, Tony Cascarino, so, I mean, that is good. I mean, if Villa can get a service into him, he knows he's got the beating of certainly Bergamy when he's 1 against 1 on him.
With the away goals, one Villa goal tonight would certainly settle the whole issue. Shove on Daly, a free kick to Villa. Presumably Gordon Cowans. No, it's going to be Paul McGrath. Three minutes to go to half-time. Outfield, flipping it in once more to Cascarino. Knocks it down for Daly. Daly turned into trouble. Ferry was right at his back. Outfield, for once everything's compressed into the Villa half of the field as Mountfield chasing Klinsmann. That's a change for you. Ferry's clearance. Kent Nielsen. Birch with the backward header. Daly trying to get there first, but Bertie just beat him to it. This is David Platt to Paul Birch for Villa. Sticking to their task well now after that shock so early in the game when they went down to Klinsmann's goal. Cowans playing it in once more towards Cascarino. Price is coming in there, and Ferry nearly made it. Birch. Gray. Back for Paul Birch again. Lifting it there towards Price. The flag is up on this side. I think probably against David Platt.
But again, a bit of success for Cascarino in there. I do feel, Brian, you get a bit excited when the ball gets played into the box towards Cascarino, because you always feel he's going to win that one.
Agree.
The flag was up for David Platt, but David Platt was well onside.
Free kick to Inter Milan. Half-time, remember, we should be talking to Graham Taylor. Gary Lineker's just left me. We'll be talking to him as well about Villa's chances of surviving the second half. Mateus. Mountfield's header. The last minute of the first half. Gray gets it away. If Villa can hold this and continue to do well in the second half, the anxiety will mount in Inter's minds, and the frustration too, and they will then feel they've got to press forward and possibly take an odd chance at the back, and that might be where Villa will capitalise. But a free kick there with a foul by McGrath on Serena. It's a real cat and mouse match, this one. Being watched live in our country, live in Italy. And something like 80,000 people here in the San Siro Stadium watching Bremer curl it in there. And Platt hitting it long towards Daly. And it'll be a throw to Inter Milan. Bergami for Inter. Pizzi. Serena. Bianchi. Lifting it in again there towards Berti. And Serena's in there. What excellent defending that time by McGrath. I think Serena, when he turned there, must have felt, well, this is it. I can turn and score. The half-time whistle's gone. It's been a real battle for Villa, conceding that goal early on, and it could have been another one with the turn by Serena, saved well by Paul McGrath. We take a break. After that, the views of Graham Taylor and Gary Lineker with Elton.
And welcome back to the San Siro Stadium, where Inter Milan are leading Aston Villa by 1-0, but on aggregate, Villa still in front by 2-1. It's getting much colder here in northern Italy, but the temperature is rising out there on the pitch, Graham.
Yes, I mean, the fact that they conceded what I thought was a very poor goal conceded, bad from a defensive point of view, so early in the game, probably wasn't all that clever from their point of view. But other than that, we're halfway through this game. They're showing that they can snatch a goal, and if they snatch it...
And of course, time starts running out for Inter Milan from the kick-off in the second half, and the longer it goes on with one goal difference, the more pressure goes on the Inter team, and the crowd will get at them. And you know, I think if they can only keep it, you know, halfway into that half, then you can see Villa maybe sneaking a 2-1 win.
Well, we wait. Great expectations now. The Soviet referee getting us away for the second half. Villa attacking the goal to our left, remember. Inter Milan leading tonight by 1-0. Klinsmann after 7 minutes. But Villa leading 2-1 on aggregate. It's a free kick to Inter Milan. Something like 1,500 Aston Villa fans here in a crowd of over 80,000. And McGrath unhappy with the free kick awarded against him when he felt that he got cleanly above Serena. And Inter Milan with their substitute Antonio Paganin on, who came on in fact in the first game as well. Bremer. Serena's head up.
Villa caught again, Brian, in the air. Serena's an excellent header, but every time they throw the ball in there, he's getting a pre-header at it. You know, I think the Villa boys have got to tighten up here. They've got to make sure that Serena in particular is marked in front as well as behind him.
Throw then to Inter Milan. Berti with it. Here's Klinsmann. Oh, he's gone round his man. He's gone round Nielsen. And Serena with a header. And he really should have done better than that. Well, Villa are delighted he didn't, but that was a clear opening for a player of international caliber, which Aldo Serena is. The cross was flung in beautifully for him. Ian?
Well, Villa off the hook. Good work by Klinsmann again. Lovely little ball. Beats Paul McGrath with it. And I think Serena was looking for the top far corner. Just over.
Klinsmann brought down by Nielsen. I think it's Battistini who's gone off. So they've dispensed with their sweeper. They've put Paganin in, who is a midfield player. So there's a slightly more offensive look about Inter Milan. There's Paganin down that right-hand side. Cowans gets it away. A flick on there by Birch, up for Daly, who took a shove in the back there. Well spotted by the referee. A free kick to Villa. Stuart Gray will take it. The skipper. Up towards big Tony Cascarino. Didn't win it in the air that time, though. Mountfield Pushing there with Bianchi, but it fell favourably for the Italian. Berti. Oh, high to the right of us. That's where the 1,500 Villa fans are making a lot of noise, but it goes without saying they're being out-shouted by the Italians, who were queuing up outside this massive San Siro stadium a good 3.5 hours before the kickoff. Serena, advantage played there by the referee. Birch was after him, but Birch concedes the free kick. Bremer will take it, and takes it quickly. There's some space for Berti to exploit down that left touchline. McGrath playing it wide to the left just as Daly began his run to the right, so the pressure continues on Aston Villa as Paganin, the substitute. Good interception by Mountfield, but now Mateus. Birch sticking close to him, Bremer. And well, there was a foul off the ball there, presumably by Price on Serena. A free kick given to Inter Milan. So again, Villa are pegged back. Coming up to 5 minutes of the second half gone. Organisation needed as Bremer curls another free kick in, and Spink just turns it away. Just a little flick away there by the Villa goalkeeper. Bianchi with the corner. Paganin. Played for Lothar Matthäus. Played wide for Bremer. On that left foot, he's always a danger! Just wide. The man who scored the winning penalty in the World Cup final. Actually, he takes his penalties with his right foot.
I was just going to say, Brian, he is a two-footed player. He can crack him with either foot. That was a beauty. But Big Nigel's in form after that disappointment of the early goal, which, as I say, I felt he should have come out and attacked the ball, probably have got it. But since then, he's been in excellent form.
Daly, Ferry with him. And this time, the referee's given the free kick to Villa. The foul by Ferry on Tony Daly. It'll be taken by Stuart Gray. Cascarino in there, Flat in there. Nielsen's come up from the back as well. Price tried to get the header. Birch swinging it wide again, but Ferry's cushioned header gets it to Bianchi. Claim that Daly's feet were high, but the referee didn't want to know about it. Bianchi looks a good player. But stopped there by Gray. Matthäus with the throw. And Mountfield gets it back. Paganin's gone into the back four between Ferry and Bergami. Bianchi. There's Paganin. Klinsmann. Pizzi. Got in each other's way, and Flat showing great confidence and calmness. Dr. Joseph Venglos, Dennis Booth alongside him. Coaching staff's done a good job here on Villa. Certainly Venglos putting Paul Birch on Matthäus in the first half, in the first leg rather, was a master stroke. Let's just hope that the words of wisdom at half-time will do the trick again for Villa. There's more defending to be done as Bergami comes forward, finds Klinsmann. No, he didn't find him that time. Gary Lineker's back with us again now. Early second half thoughts, Gary? Early second half thoughts?
Yeah, I think that Villa have settled well. They've had a good start. They've not looked in too much difficulty since the first minute or so, and it's important them to keep it the same way. If they can just keep their nerve, they should be okay.
Ferry to Bremer. Towards Serena. Cowan's getting in there too. McGrath and Platt getting in each other's way, and McGrath in the end just dispossessing Serena, gets it forward to Chris Price. Price forward to Daly. Two are back there. Ferry gives him short shrift there, but I think the whistle's gone for a foul on Chris Price, way back on the halfway line, Ian.
It was a very late tackle as he played the ball up the line. An interplayer came in behind him and really gave him a whack. He's left him lying over there.
Well, Villa for the moment with Price off the field. The game goes on. This is the challenge at Serena. There's been quite a niggle between them for quite a little while. The tackle was quite a late one there. Nielsen gets it back. Hello, Serena. Nearly 10 minutes of the second half gone. Aston Villa a goal down here in Milan, but leading 2-1 on aggregate. As Cowans plays it forward towards Pratt. David Platt was just that little bit too far forward, and there were too many interplayers between him and...
I still feel that Aston Villa are just a little bit too keen to get the ball forward. They don't have to. They can kill the game out. You know, they've got a goal, the protection of a goal, and they can kill it. And it's important that Cowans and Platt get involved in that midfield, get a hold of the ball and just knock it around. Let the clock run down. Then the pressure goes on the interplayers. But, you know, Cowans, who, for a very experienced player, I'm surprised at him, he's wanting to knock the ball on early. You know, they don't have to go chasing the game.
In the meantime, Chris Price is back on the field. There's Platt. Here he is chasing again, but this time Bianchi got the better of him. Short to Berti. Bianchi, three up ahead of him. Bremer storming down the right, and Mateus here rather on the right. The cross in towards Serena. Back again to Bremer, and a good save again by Platt, by Spink rather.
That was a lovely ball by Serena. I mean, he played it up for a full-back to have a volley.
Here's a cross coming in towards Klinsmann, and a corner given. Pressure growing on Villa again. Need to organise their marking. Watch every man as Lothar Matthäus takes this corner again. Pizzi gets it back to him. Matthäus curling it in towards Klinsmann. Just flicked off his head again by a Villa defender. And it's another corner. The Inter fans now are really getting behind their team. This time it's Bremer with the corner for Inter Milan, curled in there, and Stuart Gray getting there first. Daly coming back to try and get possession for Villa. It's Matthäus swinging it wide again to Bremer. Now here's a real up and under to test them. Up to Cascarino. Gray. Cascarino's pass gave Gray a little chance. Paganini, the substitute. That time it was Cowans who got the header in. All hands to the pumps at the moment for Villa. Paganini with the throw for Inter Milan. 13 minutes of the second half gone. Good, respectable long throw there. Might go anywhere. Serena tried to curl it. Paganini. Good work by Gray. But Bianchi. Again, Gray prevented the ball getting into that penalty area. Bergamy. Bremer. And a free kick conceded that time by Klinsmann, who is still doing that man-to-man job, Nielsen rather, still doing that man-to-man job on Klinsmann. Here those Inter fans, Pizzi and Bremer are over this free kick. Mateus is not far off it. Pizzi curling it in, and McGrath getting it away. Birch. One for Daly to chase, but he's always going to be second to Bremer, who's got the support of Bergamy. Up to Serena. McGrath just sticking out the foot. Paganin couldn't keep it in. Coming up to the quarter of an hour mark. The minutes ticking away. Berti. Gary Lineker.
Earlier on about we should...
Start again, okay.
Sorry, it got cut off there. But it's interesting to see what Saint said earlier on there, the fact that we should keep the ball a little bit more in midfield, but it really is against our nature a little bit. We like to get the ball forward quickly, it's just that it's not really working. Ideally we'd like to do that, but I don't really think it's Villa's game.
Well, here's Bremer, played to Serena. The crowd are getting just a little bit anxious now as well, as Daly goes off in pursuit. Ferry will get there first.
Yeah, I take Gary's point here. It probably isn't Villa's game. But the way to win European trophies is to be patient away from home, and they've got to learn that lesson. I mean, tonight, you know, this is a real hotbed, and they have got to learn lessons from this game.
Paul McGrath. This little chip there to David Platt. It's an Inter ball. Bremer. Serena being chased by Mountfield. Klinsmann getting in. Bianchi's there. There's a good break into the middle by Mateus. And Paganin. And this time a free kick is given to Inter Milan. The foul by Stuart Gray on Paganin. Gray going in there, and he just caught him possibly on the right shin with the, or the left shin rather, with the right boot there, leaving Paganin down.
I don't think Paganin is wearing shin pads there, no. Brian, is he?
So anxiety in that Villa 6-yard area as Nigel Spink sorts them out. Mateus with the free kick, floated once again there, across the goal there, and in he goes. That time it's Berti. And there really is trouble for Villa now. Zenga celebrates, as we see again, a crucial moment in this UEFA Cup tie, as Mateus' corner goes right across that Villa goal, falls for the unmarked Berti, and that brings the scores level on aggregate.
Well, we've been saying about crosses, Brian, that Villa have been in trouble all night with crosses. And that was the ultimate price there.
Nielsen didn't quite get a touch on it, and Villa was sorely punished. Cascarino's up. So it really is balanced now. McGrath gets there first. Dodgy knees he may have, but he was well into the challenge there on Serena. Price finding Platt. A goal for Villa and they'd still win it, with away goals counting double. This is a scoreline that could take us into extra time, of course. And there was screaming going on the bench there a moment ago, the Villa bench. Well, there's more work to be done as Paganin takes it. Good play, though, by Stuart Gray for Villa. Cascarino's header. Paganin again. Towards Mateus. He's lost Birch for a moment, but Carnes is just back there in time. So a really important few minutes now for Villa to sustain themselves. And the likes of Gordon Carnes and Paul McGrath, with so much experience, have got to make their presence felt. Klinsmann and Berti, the two scorers for Inter Milan. And this tie poised at 2-2 on aggregate now. But a free kick to Aston Villa. Oh, for a Villa goal. If they get one, Villa, the Inter Milan side then have to get four, with the away goals counting double in European ties. Carnes with the cross, flicked down by Cascarino, but not the header of real Cascarino quality then, Ian, because he did get above the man quite comfortably.
He did. He has on 3 or 4 occasions tonight got his head to balls, but his direction has been poor and the power was poor on that one as well.
Mountfield away. Carnes. But he hit the ball straight at Ferry when he meant it for Daly. Paganin. So 2-0 tonight, 2-2 on aggregate. Here's Pizzi. And good work again by Spink.
Well, Inter look at the moment as if they'll score again at any time. They're carving Villa up. That was a beautiful run from midfield. He knew what he wanted to do there. He tried to bend it into the post here. But Nigel Spink again, a first-class save.
Nielsen. Off Price. The throw. Bremer stealing a good dozen yards there. Klinsmann towards Serena, knocked away by Mountfield. Up goes Berti. A tangle there between McGrath and Klinsmann. Hit Klinsmann in the face, actually. Not McGrath, the ball, that is. Need his experience badly to calm things around that Villa defence. For Cowans to do the same in midfield. Cascarino with a header. Can Daly get there? He can't. Zenger's had so little to do in the Inter goal. Paganin. Bergami. Mateus. Bianchi. Goal kick. Good decision, referee. Bianchi went down claiming a free kick, but it was his own making, and the referee wasn't in any way fooled. Look at that. Referee right on the spot says no, goal kick. Berti with a header. Up goes Mateus. Pizzi. Oh, lovely play by Pizzi. Finds Mateus. In turn for Paganin. Curled in again for Pizzi. But they let him actually pull it down. And now Bremer. Stopped by Price. Helped by Platt. Gary Lineker, is your optimism taken a little bit of a dent now?
Well, it has a little bit, of course, and I think Villa's has as well. It's a tremendous test of character for them now. They've got to really dig in, and they've got to believe in themselves, and they've got to believe that they can score a goal. I'm a bit worried about the enormous gap between the front and the back of their team. I think that they might be better to push up a little bit more from the back and condense the play.
Mateus. He's looked so much more like the master in midfield in this game that we saw in the World Cup, Mateus. It's Klinsmann. Such a competitive man, Mateus. We just got a little glimpse of him there. There's the challenge by Nielsen. He was a real pin-up boy, I gather, amongst the ladies at home during that World Cup, and he's a terrific sport and a great competitor too. And he's kept that Inter Milan midfield going so well. There's Trapattoni, the Inter Milan coach. A long throw by Paganin. Played back there by Platt. I'm not sure what David Platt was doing there, but it provides another corner for Inter Milan. And here's that man Mateus again. Bremer. Well, it was of much more danger to the photographers behind Spink's goal than it was to Nigel Spink. Andy Bremer, a goal kick to Villa. The score's level on aggregate. The watch says there are 20 minutes of the 90 to go. But if it stays like this after 90, we go into extra time. Mateus with a header. Berti, scorer of the second goal. Chris Price. Berti's down for a moment. This will be a touch of cramp there as Cowans tries to persuade Price to go on, and it's Bergamo who gets it back to Walter Zenger. I would have thought that's the rigours of this pitch on Berti, who's covered an awful lot of ground, Ian.
Yes, I would think so. It must sap the legs something terrible because, you know, it's just come up in big chunks. With the squad of men on at half-time, pressing it back down, replacing the divots again, but as the match is going on, it's getting cut up very badly again.
So what do you feel Villa's game plan must be now for the 20 minutes or so that remain?
Well, Villa, certainly this half haven't created anything at all. They haven't created one sort of resemblance of a chance, and you do feel that they've got to try and get people forward a bit more and try and support Tony Daly up there, because if they nick a goal now, the game's finished. So it's very, very important. I think it's worthwhile Villa having a go.
Well, they've got the opportunity of putting a few forward now. Derek Mountfield with his free kick. They've left only Paul McGrath and goalkeeper Nigel Spink back. Nielsen's up there, Cascarino's up there, Daly's in there, Stuart Gray's in there as well. It's up towards Big Nielsen. And it was Bergamy who got a touch, made the clearance to Bianchi here. Paganin. Cowans. Mountfield. Up to Daly. Cowans. Platt. Berti. And Platt just caught Berti, and well, the Italians all around us are up on their feet, but I think that was a pure accident on Platt's part, to be honest with you. Let's have a look. What do you think, Saint?
Yeah, well, he went chasing the ball there, and he certainly caught him, but again, the Italian players always make a meal of things. Nothing really dirty with it. But we haven't seen David Platt at all in the game make any of his runs into the box. And, I mean, he's probably one of the best players in Europe at doing that, but tonight he's never been able to do it simply because the Villa haven't had the ball long enough to allow him to get in there.
Well, Platt took a nudge there from Berti as they jumped for that one.
There he's making a run now, Platt.
Birch. Will Birch find him, though? He's played it for Chris Price on the far side. Platt's deep in the box, and Villa got a corner. Now, forward everybody. Nielsen, Mountfield, Cascarino's in there. It'll be taken by Cowans. Nobody takes a more accurate corner than Gordon Cowans. And they feel that their chances might come from set pieces. Cowans changing his mind. He's going to swing one out with the right foot by the look of it. Towards Cascarino, got bundled off the ball there. And Klinsmann belting it away. Gray's header falls only for Bremer, and an offside surely against Klinsmann, but not given. Pizzi, stopped by Paul McGrath. That's out of play, surely? Nope. And touched it again there by Bianchi. Well, the interesting thing to find there was whether the ball was over the line before that was crossed in from the left-hand side. And equally, whether there was an offside way before that, which I really think there was. But this will tell us whether it was over the line or not. I think that was over the line.
And I think I would have to agree with you, but it was a lovely little ball in there, wasn't it? By Bianchi. You probably see it from here.
That looked to me as though that was a fraction over the line. Gary Lineker, what did you feel?
Well, it's very debatable. I think the linesman obviously given the benefit of the doubt, but the whole ball has to be over. We must remember that. But I'd be disappointed if I was a Villa defender.
Saint, your feeling? Well, that's a crucial moment of the whole night, isn't it?
It certainly was. In fact, it all started with an offside. That we felt that Inter Milan were offside. The linesman was way behind again, kept the flag down, and with the result that they got on the byline and got that ball over. And I have to say, I thought the ball was out of play.
Well, Villa really struggling now. However, one goal for them now, and they would still go through. Let's just have one more look at that. This may not be the best angle. But let's have a look. Real touch and go. From the higher angle, I certainly got a feeling that the whole of the ball had crossed that line. Fact remains, the big scoreboard shows Inter 3, Aston Villa 0, and Inter leading by 3-2 on aggregate now. But it's still a knife-edge game because Milan will know that a Villa goal could still dump them out of the competition. Because the sides will be level on aggregate then, but Villa would have a precious away goal. What it means for sure is that whatever happens, we're not going to have extra time here. Well, Villa have something like 13 minutes to make themselves real big heroes here in the San Siro Stadium. Cowan short for Paul McGrath. Birch. Price crossing it in. Nielsen getting there. And really, Villa are in the market now for taking all the risks possible at the back in order to push men forward to seek this goal.
I think it's what Joe Venglos throwing a substitute on at this stage, but they've got to get a goal. And I think if I was him, I'd take somebody off, maybe Birchop, and put somebody on.
Well, Ormonroyd or Olney?
Yes, why not? I think he's got to do something.
Well, Trapattoni calming down a little bit. I thought a moment or two ago he was going to have a seizure the way he was going. Klinsmann tangling and getting away from Nielsen. Klinsmann! And Mountfield in the end got back. that would have been the end. Well, and now it's Mateus. And Klinsmann was getting back from an offside position. Good work again by Spink from Serena's header. Now, possibly a break on for Villa. It's Birch. The play swinging now from one end to the other. Daly. Will he take him on? Well, he's got rid of the challenge of Paganin, but not the second time he was put down. And there was no foul, though, and it's a throw to Inter Milan.
Well, Serena with a header again. Good, powerful header, and a good save by Nigel Spink.
.11 minutes to go. Giovanni Trapattoni, such a highly successful manager. Won the title, the Italian title, some 6 times with Juventus and once with Inter Milan, and has won all 3 of the European titles with Juventus. We think Iannone will be coming on very shortly. Price on the far side for Villa now. The cross in towards Tony Cascarino. It might fall for Cowans. Knocked it sideways again for Price. Battling with Bremer and Serena. No foul. And Mandolini looks as though he's going to come on very shortly for Inter Milan. For Berti. This is Paganin, the other substitute now for Inter Milan. Klinsmann and Pizzi waiting in the middle. Back to Bianchi. Scorer of that 3rd goal. Pizzi's shot, in fact it hit Klinsmann. Birch battling away in there, finds Gray. Need this goal now, Villa, and there are 10 minutes left. Up goes Cascarino. Looked as though he was hit from behind by Bergami. Bremer. Cowans, Platt. And the break is on again with Mateus. Goal kick. Now the substitutions will be made. Iannone coming on for Aston Villa. Berti's going off. And Mandolini's coming on for Inter Milan, and Villa are taking off Derek Mountfield. Well, Iannone, 20 years old, it's Mountfield who's gone off. Scored just a couple of goals this season. Derek Mountfield has got his left knee very heavily bandaged. Young Olney is on. Spink with the goal kick. Up goes Cascarino. Now Daly. Looking to get away from Ferry. Olney's waiting in the middle, and Platt's in there too. Couldn't quite get the turn he wanted or the space he wanted. But Inter were just happy to belt that one into touch. 8 minutes left. Trapattoni off the bench again, look at that. That's the way it gets you when you're a manager of an Italian side that's on the threshold of further adventures in Europe. And it finished nicely enough there with Stuart Gray. Well, just about 7 to 8 minutes left now, and poor Joseph Venglos knows that it's got to be something fairly dramatic in those remaining 8 minutes for Villa to survive now. Paganin's all right. Gray with the throw. Olney. Serena got the better of Cowans. Pizzi. Bianchi to Pizzi. Bremer. Mistake there by Mateus. David Platt inside for Tony Cascarino. The white shirts are getting forward. They found Daly again. Ferry is close to him. And Daly in the end gets tripped there, but he'd lost control of the ball, the referee said, and so Pizzi now setting up an attack at the other end. Serena. In goes Cowans. And a Villa ball. With a throw for Inter Milan. 6 minutes of the game are left. Klinsmann, Ferry, Pizzi, free kick given to Inter.
Inter Milan are giving the Villa a lesson on how to waste time, Brian, now. I mean, they're letting the clock run down.
Well, the clock's running down to a fraction over 5 minutes now as Mateus lines up this free kick. Klinsmann's waiting for it. Here's his Pizzi. Charged down by Cowans. Cascarino looking to take it up, but there are 3 Inter players around him. They've got a real whiff of victory in their nostrils now. And Klinsmann to Mateus, curled in once more. McGrath there excellently again for Aston Villa, and Cowans with a chance to get it away, up to Cascarino, finds Birch, busying himself again through that midfield. Chris Price on the far side, nodding it down for McGrath. Villa getting people forward too. Only very active up there. Cascarino's got up there. Cowans, can he pick out one of them now? No, straight to Zenga.
That was a key ball, wasn't it? And he needed to find Cascarino with that one.
Klinsmann. Oh, he's got away again, Klinsmann. McGrath tried to stop him. Is Klinsmann. Good work again by Spink. Bremer.
Well, that should have been all over, Brian. Klinsmann did ever so well to get in the position and then just sort of passed it back into the goalkeeper's hands. Very, very weak.
Cowans.
But thankfully it keeps the Villa alive.
Just about. Cascarino going there with a header. And a goal kick. Inside 4 minutes. Good work again by Spink, right on the edge of his 6-yard area, had come out to make life that much more difficult for Klinsmann. Zenga with the kick. Platt. Three minutes left. The Italian fans streaming away, believing that a good night's work has been done by their team, but it isn't over yet. One priceless strike by Villa would still make it a night of glory for them. It'll be Mateus with the throw. For Villa, just one of those nights. Promised so much and might, in the end, provide them with so little. But here's Cowans. Platt going in on the back of Bianchi. I think the referee deciding it's a drop ball there. Throw given this time to Aston Villa. 2 minutes left. I think what they're doing, Saint, they're going to try and get Spink to get it forward as quickly as they can now. Only couldn't get a touch on that one. Paganin instead for Inter Milan. Bremer. Just look at Zenga now, taking his time. A little over a minute left. Bremer. A long way back. And it'll reach Zenga. It'll be a night of great disappointment for people like John Ward there and Joseph Englosh.
But they've been beaten by a very, very good side tonight, Brian. I don't think that the Villa can really complain too much, because not only have they scored goals, 3 goals into Milan, they've also created so many other chances as well. And the football has been very progressive, very entertaining, and they thoroughly deserve the win.
It's Paganin. It's just that element of doubt about the one that finally put them through. Whether it was offside, whether it did cross the line.
Well, that's right.
But in both cases, it looked to me as though it was offside and it did cross the line.
You're away from home, European tie, you're in the San Siro. You're not going to get that decision if you're the away team.
In the meantime, it's a free kick to Inter Milan. Bremer with it. Powerful left foot he's got. Just 2 in the wall. Driven in low, and it came off David Platt behind for the corner. And we're playing time added on. I doubt there's time for the corner to be taken and for Villa to get to the other end in any case now. In fact, the final whistle's gone. Even the corner can't be taken. And Villa go out of the UEFA Cup, beaten here by 3 goals to 0 by Inter Milan, which overcame the 2-goal advantage that Villa won so gloriously at Villa Park. That early goal by Klinsmann put Villa on the back foot. Berti scoring the second one early in the second half, and then that controversial third one from Bianchi. On a night when Inter Milan showed a sharpness and a togetherness and a class and a quality that they rarely showed during that first leg at Villa Park. A different side altogether. And Villa, as I say, up against it from the moment they went behind. A really intimidating atmosphere and few chances actually coming Villa's way. In the end, going out on an aggregate of 3-2 to Inter Milan. So the flags are flying around the San Siro stadium, and a victory that they will feel that their side thoroughly deserved, overcoming the fears that they brought back from Birmingham with them after the first leg. And really, with the quality that there is in this Inter Milan side, with those 5 Italian World Cup players and 3 West German World Cup winners, you feel that in this competition they are going to be more than a match for anybody. It's a scene of great joy then at San Siro, but not sadly for Villa. There were stars in their side, not least the goalkeeper Nigel Spink, who made an excellent save or 2. Let's go down and get a reaction on the touchline now. Gordon Cowans is with Gary Newborn.
Well, so disappointing for Aston Villa, but you can't really argue with the result at the end, Gordon.
No, we were beaten by a better side tonight. They played well tonight. We've given an early goal away, which is what we didn't want to do. But I don't know, I thought we haven't really got going. Like I said, they've played well, but we were very disappointed.
Why was that tonight, do you think?
I don't know. It's difficult to put down to anything, Gary. You know, we've just come out and we haven't been overawed by the atmosphere, by their players, and nothing. As I said, went behind to an early goal. It was disappointing that we were caught flat at the back.
When you look at their winning goal, you might feel that the ball was over the line when it was crossed.
Yeah,
did you see that?
Paul McGrath stopped because he thought it was over the line, which it was over the line. He said himself it was over the line. after saying that, I mean, you've got to play till the whistle goes.
There was a lot of talk about the pitch. Did that have an effect at the end of the day?
No, we can't make excuses about that either. I mean, the pitch is obviously not very good, but the same for both sides.
And was this a night when Villa really thought beforehand they could do it?
Yeah, we felt we had a great chance, 2-0 up at half-time, and we've blown it now. It's just very disappointing.
Finally, I mean, the midfield's been so good in recent seasons for Villa, yourself and David Platt, but this wasn't your night tonight, was it?
No, it wasn't. They've come out again tonight in midfield. Well, they've pushed us right back, very deep into our own half. I thought we should have pushed up another 20 yards from the back, and that would have given us a better chance of getting contact with Tony Cascarino and Tony Dale. We just haven't been able to give them enough support at all.
Their players got at you, but what about the crowd? Did that have much effect?
No, not really. Once you're on with the game, you don't notice so much. I mean, obviously, you can hear the noise now, it's tremendous, but that didn't affect us at all. No.
Hope's gone out the window.
Right, it's gone, hasn't it?
Thank you, Gordon.
Cheers, Gary, please.
Gary Newbon with Gordon Cowans. Our thanks to the commentators Brian Moore and Ian St John. Well, still to come on the match tonight, we've got highlights of the European Cup Winners' Cup tie between Wrexham and Manchester United, and we'll also be hearing the views of the England manager Graham Taylor and also the England captain Gary Lineker. All that follows the break. Welcome back to the San Siro. Aston Villa have gone out of the UEFA Cup. We'll look at the hard luck stories momentarily, Graham, but if you look at the 45 minutes before that, then Aston Villa didn't really create a chance. Maybe they haven't got too many complaints tonight.
Well, I mean, taking nothing away from Inter Milan, Aston Villa would be very disappointed with their second half performance. They've allowed themselves to be stretched. You've got to keep the ball within the team far more than they did. And I mean, I couldn't say this about any other team, but they really need their backsides kicking for that second half performance because they've thrown it away.
OK, we'll look at the two goals in a couple of moments, but let's just hear what Gary Lineker's got to say. He's down on the touchline, still savouring the atmosphere. He's with Gary Newbon.
Well, just picking up from what Graham Taylor said there, was there anything that Villa could really have done about that second half performance?
Well, we must give credit to Inter. I mean, they did make life difficult, and they have got some tremendous players, as they showed here tonight, and they put on a tremendous show. But Villa will be disappointed. They just let themselves get too far apart. Now, what that means is that the defence decided, because perhaps of the pace, they might have been a bit scared of Klinsmann's pace, they defended too deep. Now, that allowed the team to get stretched, and the front players were basically isolated. Daly and Cascarino were too far from the rest of the team, which made life very difficult for them and practically made it impossible for them to put any attacks together. And then with the relentless pressure that Inter applied, the goals had to come, and unfortunately they did.
What's it like for the players now?
Well, I mean, we've all been through this situation of important games and losing important games, and they'll be desperately disappointed. I'm sure they were very confident going into tonight of holding the 2-0 lead, and they'll be desperately sad in there.
Well, Gary Lineker as well, fairly critical of the Aston Villa performance tonight, as was the England manager Graham Taylor just before we went down to join Gary. Do you think that they defended well for the second goal that was scored tonight, the first goal in the second half?
Well, they were unfortunate to get the free kick against them in the first place, but that happens. The fella's got a flick just from there, and Kent Nielsen misses. He tries to hook it clear, and that happens. Do you know what I mean? It's a mishook. Just there, he's got in front of him, got the nick, shoots across, and tries, and he just misses his kick, and then it's in, and that happens. I mean, the free kick before that was a harsh decision against him, but it's just a missed kick, isn't it? 7 players in the area for that. Enough, yes, he's flicked it across, but I mean, basically, it's nothing more than a fella missing the ball. It's as simple as that.
No, it is a big hard luck story, but I think from our position here for the third and decisive goal, we thought right from the outset that Klinsmann was offside.
Well, Bremer plays it deliberately there. He's not. I mean, for me, I don't think he is offside. I think we're very sure, we're a bit late getting out there onto them. We should be, see, Paul's coming, he should be closing him down much earlier than that, and he allows him to come into the position there. And then he gets a block, and then he goes to the ground, and it sneaks out, and the linesman is in a good position. But that happens at these places here. I mean, that's unfortunate, as it comes out. The ball is out of play, and the linesman's this side, and he's not up with it. But I mean, the problems have started earlier than that. today, I mean, the second half, at the back, they defended far too deep. And if you're kept at the back like that, you can't get up, as Gary Lineker says, to support your front people. I felt that the problems today for Aston Villa came in the second half when their back people didn't push up sufficiently to get their midfield players away from them to be able to support the front players. And I think that the worst thing for Aston Villa today was when half-time came. Because although they were 1-0 down in the first half, they'd played some kind of control football, they'd kept the ball within their team now and again. But the way they played in the second half, whenever they got the ball, they had no alternative but to hitting the ball to their front people from very deep positions. And at this level, you are not going to get away with that. And I would basically, I mean, it's probably wrong of me in one respect to say, because I know these lads, I know they'll take it in the way and they've had this. I would kick those back defenders' backsides for not getting up and getting out and pushing in. They defended lazily for me today. They didn't defend positively.
You sound still very committed to the Aston Villa cause in a way.
I know them well enough to know that they had a chance today. They were 2-0 up. I hope they learn from it. They had a very good chance today. They were 2-0 up, and if they had defended in a more positive manner, by means I'm saying pushing up, that would have enabled their midfield to have got in contact. They'd done that pretty well in the first half, created their chances, couldn't do it in the second half. Yeah, I feel for them because I think that they should have gone on to the next round and they didn't.
Da quei tempi che non c'erano le rose di oggi, ma c'erano delle rose molto limitate, dunque diciamo che i titolari erano magari 13-14 giocatori, poi in aggiunta c'erano giocatori che magari avevano poca disponibilità per potersi mettere in luce. Beh, avere Walter dietro di noi era più di un margine di sicurezza, era il portiere più forte al mondo, era colui che tra i pali si sapeva muovere come pochi al mondo. Personalità, capacità fisiche, capacità tecniche, un giocatore straordinario, personalità, dunque Walter incarnava veramente l'elemento importante, come si suol dire, quando parti con un portiere del livello di Walter vuol dire che sei già avanti. Klinsmann era un giocatore di grande dinamismo, un giocatore che non stava mai fermo, un giocatore che capace di adottare la fase di possesso e non possesso, un giocatore che per l'economia di una squadra è molto importante perché quando perdeva palla rincorreva gli avversari, cercava di rendersi utile per la conquista della stessa. Un giocatore che fisicamente ha pochissimi eguali, un giocatore che già aveva fatto parlare di sé nella propria nazionale, un giocatore che volevano tantissime squadre che l'Inter riuscì poi a portare a casa e magari era considerato magari un po' sprecone nelle occasioni magari davanti alla porta su dei gol magari che potevano essere abbastanza facili, però per noi era un giocatore sicuramente importante. Ci fu la consapevolezza che potevamo, dando qualcosa in più tutti, cercando di essere un po' più spregiudicati, tenendo magari la difesa un po' più alta, rischiando qualcosa in più e imprimendo ritmo alla gara, potevamo metterli in difficoltà. Abbiamo sofferto sicuramente molto, però alla fine siamo stati premiati.